welcome back to another episode of NFT Artist Spotlight, hosted by AstroZero. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks.
Welcome to our spaces. Thanks for talking to our community. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into NFTs and what made you decide to do a gaming-based NFT project?
Yeah, so I'm kind of from the gaming community, so when I look at NFTs, I don't really see too many projects with games that are actually fun and competitive and something with that aspect. So that's kind of one of the things I wanted to add with my project. And then I just got into NFTs, when they were starting to pop off, around August, July time, just minting stuff like Lazy Lions pretty early on, and then I fell in love with them from that day, and I've been in the NFT community for basically every day since. And then so that's kind of how I got into NFTs. Just heard about it when they were starting to pop off, and then I've been in the community still for a good amount of time. And then I wanted to start my own project because I really wanted to do a competitive game with the project, something different, and that's kind of how we're here.
Are you involved in the game development yourself, or do you have an outside company helping you with that?
Right. So I actually have a gaming dev. So my dev is basically, he's also an expert in making games, and he has a whole team. So they're working on the game really hard. We're gonna have the trailer on December 30th. But so I'm having basically my team work on the game, but they're from the whole gaming space and everything. So that's kind of how the game is being made.
What made you decide that you were going to go the gaming route as opposed to something like a metaverse route or some other type of utility that people are going? Because it's really like gaming is kind of more in now with cryptocurrency tokens as opposed to NFT projects.
Yeah, that is true. Like I said, I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to create an esport. I'm working with different organizations in the esports scene to, partner up. But yeah, I just want to do something that's a type of esport, something that's a long term. Like the whole game's gonna be player versus player. Your apes are gonna be able to battle, etc. So that's kind of the whole theme I wanted to follow. And then in the second roadmap, there's gonna be definitely more things to come. Potential token things in the metaverse. 3D versions, etc. All that stuff's also going to be coming in the second roadmap. But for now, I just wanted to start with a really fun game. That's something going to be fun. You mint one, you're going to be able to participate in $100,000 prize pool to begin with. There'll be even more prize pools as we go with the whole esport thing. And yeah, I just wanted to create a long-term game in the NFT space that would revolutionize esports, something different.
What type of background do you come from prior to coming into NFTs? And were you in crypto? Were you in stock trading, or how'd you get involved with this as a whole?
For sure. So, what I used to do before this is, I was basically in the gaming scene. I was a professional gamer. I competed in esports and different teams, different games. That's kind of what I started with. And then in terms of crypto, I got into Ethereum and other projects, other cryptos, pretty early. Those were some of the things I was into. But yeah, I was mainly into gaming. I was always interested in crypto. I always looked at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, all those projects pretty early on. But I didn't really get into that huge until the whole NFT space started popping off, and then I kind of shifted to where I'm mainly into NFTs, still into the gaming scene, but not as much. So that's kind of how I got to where I am here.
Do you still competitive game like through esports, or are you kind of putting that behind you to pursue this now?
So yeah, I plan on, after I'm done releasing this project, I plan on coming back and participating in different esports and doing what I've been doing, competing competitively in games like Fortnite, Valorant, those type of games. But yeah, I definitely will be coming back after this NFT project. Maybe even playing my own game. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, just doing that. But yeah, I definitely will be coming back, but it's definitely gonna be more focused on NFTs than gaming for the foreseeable future.
Now, do you have plans to run your tournaments that you're going to do on Twitch or some other type of gaming platform? And do you have any maybe friends or colleagues that you played in esports with that are Twitch streamers to kind of get the word out about your project?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be doing that. I have tons of esport friends that are high influencers in the esport world that I'm gonna be having promote the project, talk about it, for sure. And then also yeah, Twitch is gonna be the main place where the game's gonna be streamed, talked about, played, those things for sure. So yeah, that's definitely the plan. Yeah, I have lots of esport friends, gaming friends that are all going to promote the project and talk about it. And like I said, we've been working on partnerships with esports teams to promote the project. That's definitely been part of the plan. So yeah, lots of promotions with gaming community for sure.
Now, I'm not sure if this happens, but I used to play like competitively years back when Xbox 360 was out. I used to play a lot of Rainbow Six Vegas,
Mhm.
and you there used to be like Major League Gaming, like MLG was the gaming league that you would play on. Is is that still one of the like the premier leagues that people get ranked on?
Um, to be honest, not really anymore. I from what I know, it's still a thing, MLG, but yeah, it's kind of not as big anymore. The main esports nowadays are games like Fortnite. Call of Duty has their own league, so yeah, all these games kind of have their own different leagues. Like Fortnite has its own league, Valorant has its own league, but yeah, it isn't really, MLG isn't really as one of the premier big things anymore.
Has there been any competitive NFT games that have been released yet?
Okay, there's been, of course, NFT games, but as in terms of like a competitive esport PvP, that type of game, like games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, Valorant, where you're fighting, competing, battling. From what I know, no, there haven't been any. There could be some like with PvP style, like Clash of Clans, Clash Royale. So it's kind of those type of games where there's PvP. But in terms of like a competitive esport with PvP, like a high premier games like Fortnite, Valorant, where it's that type of style, I haven't heard or seen any myself. No.
Gonna gonna try to be the first one in that territory. It's that takes some guts, really.
Yeah, that's the plan, man. That is the
So
plan.
how big is the collection that you're going to be releasing?
Sure. The collection is gonna be 7,777. Um, different traits, different rarities, all of that, of course. And then our pre-sale is January 11th. Main sale January 13th. The pre-sale prices will be cheaper. 0.067 ETH, and then the main sale the prices will be 0.0777 ETH.
How does somebody go about getting into the pre-sale and getting whitelisted?
For sure. So there's multiple ways to get whitelisted. One of the main ways is just be active in the Discord chatting, and if you reach a level of 6 in the Discord, you'll automatically be whitelisted. So that's just chatting with different members in the community, getting to know everyone. One of the easier ways to do it, but we'll only be picking a few per day, is tag us on any social media. Or create a TikTok or YouTube video talking about the Mythology Apes Club, and then when you're gonna tag us on social media, make sure your profile picture is one from our hashtag sneak peek section. And then finally, you would be another way to get whitelisted is just inviting 15 friends or people to the Discord server. Of course, real people. So yeah, we're doing a multiple amount of ways to get whitelisted, so everyone has a good, fair chance. Our whitelist is filling up. We're about 360 total whitelisted members right now. But yeah, that's where we're at.
What's going to be the maximum amount of people that you're whitelisting?
For sure. So the first plan was to do originally 500, and then now that there's more demand, we're going to keep it at 750. And then with the esports team that we're exclusively working with, we're estimating they could bring at least around 250 whitelist members. So our original plan was 1,000 whitelist members, but 750 in our Discord, and then the team we're working with will basically have a maximum of 250 with their whole core, what they're doing basically. So they're going to be selling it from their end. That's how they'll be promoting it, and then yeah, they'll be doing it for the pre-sale and main sale. So that's why we left it not super big in the Discord for that.
For people that purchase the NFT, is there going to be some sort of governance aspect behind it where community members that own a part of your project are able to vote on certain things or events that might happen in the future with the game and just the community itself?
Of course, man. Yeah, anybody who's holding the NFT, will have a voting system. So the community can decide how they want to go about things. Like for example, our game will we'll have different maps, different things in the game. As we're going along, so people can vote on what type of maps they want, what type of weapons they want, what type of this they want, etc. And then they can be voting on how they want the whole process of our next roadmap to go with the whole token and everything we have going in that you know area. So yeah, we'll definitely be having our community involved heavy for sure.
All right, so going to the game itself. Now, when you purchase an NFT, um, in the game itself, you're going to have a 3D rendering of your character. Is it going to be like a side-scrolling two-dimensional type game, more like a Mortal Kombat? or how is the game going to be laid out?
For sure. So, yeah. So basically, the game's gonna be you're gonna have able to have your 3D character playable on the game that you have, and let's say you own multiple NFTs, you could switch off what character you want to play with. So let's say you want to wear one of your different NFTs, then you could play with that one. You could switch them off basically. So yeah, it's gonna be that style, 3D style. You hop on the game, your NFTs are gonna be there. All the NFTs you own, you could switch through whichever one you want to play with, and then we'll have different game modes in the game, so you could jump in if you just want to practice, play against with your friends or something. We'll have that friendless, everything. So it's gonna be a very proper actual game in that sense for sure.
Is there going to be based on the rarity of your NFT that you purchase? Are you going to have different statistics? So if somebody, let's say, they end up minting and they get lucky and they get a super rare, is their
Right.
character going to be stronger than just a common NFT?
In the game.
Yeah, in the game.
Right. So we consider doing that, but the reason we won't be is because we're trying to do an esport, and if someone's able to have a big advantage in the game, like something we consider doing since we're doing Zeus is if you rare one of the mint one of the rare Zeus type of NFTs, you're gonna be able to use lightning in the game, and then that would allow you to instant eliminate other players or do something like that. We didn't really want to go with that just because we're kind of trying to have a competitive good esport. But even if you don't want to compete in the esport and you just want to play in the game with your NFT characters, then that's still cool. You could go ahead and do that. But yeah, we're not doing anything in the sense where if you have a rare NFT, then you're in the game itself, you're gonna have advantages.
Okay, that's good. Just when I was looking on your Discord and I saw there would be, I think it was 10 super rares with Zeus's lightning bolts. The first thing I
Yeah.
thought of, Golden Eye with the golden gun, where it's like one hit kills.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that would kind of suck if I
Yeah.
if I spend money here and then this guy's one shotting me.
Exactly. Yeah. So we went ahead and changed that from our roadmap. Yeah, that was changed. Yep. Yep.
So, what type of rarity elements are you going to have implemented into the NFT process?
For sure. So something like, for an example, one of our rarest NFTs that you can mint is what we like to call the Star Knight skin. So if you rare, it's the latest sneak peek actually. So one of those are rare. The rarest background is our Olympus background. So if you also look in the sneak peeks and go up a little bit, that's also something rare. So something cool we also have of our NFTs is we have backgrounds that will be actually in the game. Right, so these backgrounds will be in the game, different scenes in the game. So one of the more common backgrounds that you could mint in terms of rarity is just the regular old Coliseum. Then it gets a little rare with a fire one. Then you have a lightning one. Then we have the same thing with the ships because we'll be having ships in our game too. Then you have we have ships with lightning, then without lightning, and we have battlefield backgrounds, and then finally the Olympus background. So yeah, and then there's different things like armor. What if you have a shield and sword, or just sword, or very few of them have no weapon at all. Another one of our traits is like a dagger and a mouth. So yeah, the rarities are completely different things are rare, different things are not. We'll be on rarity tools as soon as the project is launched within 24 to 48 hours. So you'll be able to see how rare your NFT is pretty easily on there. So yeah.
Talking about rarity tools, do you think that's beneficial for every project on ETH to get onto? I know you have to pay 2 ETH to get listed on there. So if you were to recommend to somebody that's starting out, would that be something you would say that they should go for immediately, or maybe they could make it without it?
Well, it all depends on what your budget is. What I tell most people is, try to be saving your money as smart as you can when you're doing an NFT project. Make sure, if two Ethereum is around 8,000. So, you don't want to be just going and putting down rarity tools. If don't have that type of budget. But is it beneficial? Absolutely. There's a reason they're charging that. Another good thing you should always do is, just get listed on the upcoming projects for rarity tools. That's free. That's how a lot of people find the projects of the month, and they're like, "Oh, I like that project." Certain people are in my Discord, and projects that I've invested into is just looking from the upcoming projects on Rarity Tools. That's how a lot of people find projects they like, even if they don't like things about it. They just find art they like, and then they understand the project more. So yeah, it's definitely beneficial, but at the end of the day, it depends on what type of budget you're working with. But yeah, you could definitely make it without it. It's not something you need. It's beneficial, but at the end of the day, you don't need it.
How many different stage settings or levels, or however you want to call competitive backgrounds, are there going to be that people are going to be able to fight in?
That's something we'll have to decide. The maps will be pretty big. There'll be different like for example, you'll be able to battle in the Coliseum. So, that'd be not too super big. If you're just trying to do like a mode where you're just trying to practice one on one. The whole map itself can be pretty big. There's mountains, there's a Coliseum, there's, ships. It's a pretty big map. And then there'll be different maps as we go. Map will get changed. You can play on different maps. So we don't have like an exact number yet on how many maps, but it'll, definitely be a good amount as we go. And then, the community votes on everything.
Is there going to be different types of terrain elements or obstacles on the map? So in the Coliseum, is there going to be maybe trapdoors that somebody could trip on, or maybe, I don't know. I think of the Coliseum, I think of lions being released and attacking the people in the Coliseum. Are you going to have any sort of those elements, NPC characters or anything like that?
As of now, we haven't really, since it's kind of Greek times, it depends on how you want to look at it. There will definitely be different terrain, but in terms of obstacles specifically, we'll have to see. It depends. We could definitely add them if the community wants them. As of now, we don't have a plan to specifically have, different NPCs and different, animals and stuff. But if the community wants them, no problem. We'll add them.
Are there going to be elements where you can pick up different types of weaponry that are on the ground and use them? Like if, let's say, your NFT character has a dagger, could there be maybe like a long sword on the ground that they could pick up and use?
Exactly, yeah, that's definitely part of the game. So there's gonna be different weapons they can pick up. Like I said, we'll have different game modes. So if someone wants to have a game mode where the weapons are already set for everyone, and they can kind of choose what weapon they want to fight with and play with, that can be done. But we can also, that's also part of the plan for certain game modes. Is you could find weapons on the ground and play with them. So if you find a bow and arrow, you could go ahead and pick that up and use it. Find a sword, use it. All those good stuff.
What other types of benefits are holders going to have for hanging on to your NFTs?
Exactly. So the benefits the holders are going to have are, the whole plan is to release many other projects and, the future. So to have whitelisting, early access to all those projects. But not only that, like I said, for the second roadmap, we plan on having a whole tokenomics and going with that. If the community wants that, which I'm assuming they probably would, we're going to do that. There's gonna be different things as well, like meetups and different things like that, certain cool giveaways for holders. And then obviously the game is the main attraction. But yeah, the main thing after that is gonna be the whole token and 3D version of the NFT where they'll be able to get it for free, and then the public would have to buy it if they don't own an NFT. So if you own our NFT, you'll get a 3D version for free in the second roadmap, and then token and going from there.
How large is the team that you have working on this project?
Including moderators or not including moderators?
You can include the moderators.
So yeah, I have one main dev. I have my partner. And then the dev has, about 3 to 5 people on his team that he has, helping him work on the game and website and everything like that. So the team in total is probably around 15 to 20 people in that range.
Okay. Looking on your roadmap, it says that the 50% point that you're going to have, is there going to be a play to earn element included into the game?
Oh yeah, exactly. So there's going to be a play to earn element in the game. And then, obviously we'll have the whole prize pool for 100,000, but yeah, there will be a play to earn element in the game for sure. Yeah.
What would somebody have to do in order to like earn throughout the game? Would it have to be like win streaks or leaderboards, or how would you go about that?
Exactly. So there'll be leaderboards, different, tournaments in a day. If they win this many games, they get that. The people who are, will have different things like, for this month, whoever has, if you have a certain amount of wins or, like for example, top 10, if you're in the 10th place, you get this much amount. If you're in first, you get this much amount. So yeah, definitely like leaderboards, prizing, and, we'll go like that for the play to earn mechanisms for sure.
Are you going to incorporate a storyline mode eventually into the game, or is it going to be strictly PvP?
Oh, we definitely want to include a campaign later on, maybe even find a way to involve the NFTs in the campaign. So, if your NFT is like a main character in the campaign, that'd also be really cool. But yeah, we're definitely want to add a campaign to the game as well, because we think that could be something really fun and cool later on, like part of the second roadmap. Yeah, that's definitely part of the plan.
Anywhere down the road, do you plan on incorporating something like a 2 versus 2 element, like a Marvel versus Capcom, maybe where you would tag in and out, or you would just fight like battle royale mode, maybe 4 people fighting and last man standing?
Yeah, all those game modes will definitely be added. Like whatever game modes the community wants, we'll get them done. If the community wants a game mode to be removed, they're not a fan of it. Okay, we do that. If they want a certain game mode that's not in the game yet, or then we'll add that. So yeah, any game mode is open to being added. We have kind of a main plan of what we want to start with, and then from there, what the community wants, we go from there.
Okay, cool. At the 75% point, it says that you guys are releasing a merch line. What kind of merch are you gonna have available for people? Is it gonna be um, can you get like a copy of your specific NFT maybe put onto a hoodie or a shirt or a hat?
Yeah, exactly. So one of the main things we wanted is the merch to actually look cool. So there'll be certain cool designs, and by the way, everything we make from the merch line will be put right back into the NFT and whatever the community wants. But yeah, it'll be definitely cool designs. Like you can actually have your NFT on the merch, or just an thing that says Mythology Apes Club, Mac, all sorts of cool designs and different things. So yeah, having your NFT on the hoodie itself or shirt, whatever the individual wants.
It says at the completion point of your roadmap at 100%, you are considering getting charity elements included into the sales or however you might go about it. Is this going to be decided by the community? Is there specific charitable organizations that you guys have in mind? How are you going to do that?
Yeah, so the charities we have in mind from the beginning, we're kind of giving back in a way like gaming community, right? So, like for Christmas, by the time it's Christmas, giving back to, giving Christmas gifts to kids that don't have consoles or, can't afford a game or can't afford a controller, or, giving PCs. So kind of giving back, gaming stuff to kids who can't afford them or just don't have them or their stuff is broken or it's old. So that's kind of the main charities we want to do. So just giving back to the community with different, different games, accessories, PCs, consoles. And then any other charities that maybe the community wants to get involved with, that's definitely possible. But that's kind of the main thing we were eyeing for now in terms of charity.
All right. Are you going to have any type of in the future down the road? Are you going to have any type of maybe upgradable skins for characters or different types of weaponry that they could maybe have as their NFT?
Yeah, that's definitely part of the plan to add different weapons that can be a part of your NFT. The characters and skins, that's definitely possible too. Like I said, just whatever the community wants. But yeah, it's definitely part of the plan to add different weapons, not just the ones that the NFTs have. Later on as we go, different types of weapons with different game modes, and that's definitely part of the plan for sure.
Are you eventually going to um, consider incorporating like a native token element into your NFT project and have it go into cryptocurrency as well?
Yeah, that's definitely possible. The main thing we were thinking about were basically having the whole token in the second roadmap, and then you could stake it, and we go from there. And then again, it depends on what the community specifically wants, but yeah, that's definitely a part of the plan for sure.
I think that could be something that could be advantageous, especially if you could introduce maybe some sort of wagering element to the game. That's always fun betting native tokens versus somebody else to say that you're better than. It gives you a little bit of like bragging rights too.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
I got Creative Al's coming up. I think he has a question for you.
Hello.
Creative Al, you have a question? Hello?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. We can
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes it sounds like you got a lot of stuff going on. What's been like the biggest challenge for you so far? That's my first question. And then my second question is, on your Twitter, what are you guys planning to do with your Twitter? Are you guys just following like high profiles, or are you guys following like your NFT holders as well too?
Yeah, for sure. So I'll start with the challenge question first. Our biggest challenge so far has been, getting the game how we want it to exactly look before we get the trailer out. So we plan on getting the trailer out on the 30th. So we've been working really hard on getting the game exactly how we want it. Little things like little graphics, making the graphics look really good. So yeah, that's probably been the biggest challenge. And then maybe the second biggest challenge would be building a community without spending too much on marketing to begin with, because we've been waiting to go crazy on marketing before the game. We want the game trailer to be out because you want to market that with your marketing. So yeah, that's kind of been the two toughest challenges. And then the question was, would we follow holders, you said? Most likely not just high profile. So like as you can see, we're following Jack Harlow. We plan on having him promote the project for the main sale. Following people like Elon and Gary Vee, just because if they get our attention, it's great. So yeah, that's kind of how we are going to go about the Twitter. That's kind of what the plan is.
Cool, man. Thanks about that. Yeah, I hear a lot of the biggest challenges for gaming is really the artwork, really, and then afterward is kind of the contract stuff. So I hear you.
Appreciate you, man.
So initially, when I spoke to you at the beginning of December, you had the release was going to be towards the end of the month here. What made you guys decide to push it back?
Like I was telling Creative, it's kind of the game trailer. We haven't really we want to release obviously once our game trailer is done, and then finishing up the deals with our esport team. So on the 30th, our game trailer will be done, and that's kind of when that until the 11th, our marketing will be full steam, and hopefully the goal is to reach as high as many members as we can. At least 35 to 50,000. We want like a 5x of our entire collection. That's always a good number to be at. So we're at around 7.2 right now. But yeah, that's definitely the plan, is to get the game trailer out on the 30th. Our esport partnership will be kicking full in. All our influencers and Twitch streamers will be promoting it, and then that's the plan. And then that's why we kind of delayed it to the 11th and 13th for pre-sale, main sale.
Makes sense. Can you talk about any of your influencers or maybe Twitch streamers that you're going to have involved, or is that kind of something that you have to keep quiet?
In terms of the esports team, I do have to keep quiet because the negotiations are still going on with which esport team, but definitely be an esport team we do partner up with. So can't say too much on that now. But for the influencers and streamers, we're still talking to a bunch. But kind of the main thing we'll be having them do is for the main sale. They'll have their own custom link and they'll get a percentage of everything they sell. So they're kind of directly showing it to their followers and fans. So kind of up to them on how much they want to promote it. They promote it more, they get more heaps of benefits. And then that's what we're going to be doing with the gaming team for the pre-sale. So they're going to be using their custom link to promote it to their fans for the pre-sale, tell them about the esport, do all of that. In specific, some of the like I said, we'll be having Jack Harlow promote us for the main sale. To name some of the gaming guys, I don't know if you guys would specifically know them, but some people are named like Jet, a guy's part of Ghost Gaming, Ghost Collabs. Some people we're talking to is a guy named Creo, Cease. So these are people. Another guy named Orangey. So these are kind of people with ranging from like 200,000 to 500,000 followers on Twitter, in that kind of range of the people we're negotiating and working on having promote the project.
Can you discuss what type of royalty percentages you have built into your apes for the secondary market?
Yeah, for the royalty percentages, like I said, we have to talk to our team and talk to how everyone wants to work about them. So I'm not fully sure on how we're gonna go about that yet, but we definitely have a plan with that as well.
Are any of those percentages going to get reinvested into the community and the project itself?
The plan is to reinvest 100% of all royalties for sure. So everything, will be back into the project, for the game, everything we have in the future. So yeah, everything we, earn up, will be put right back in from those type of stuff. The merch, everything's getting put right back in, even from the main. So a lot of what we get is being put into the prize pools and the game and everything. So yeah, a lot of what we're making is getting put right back in.
How long have you guys been working on this project?
For sure. So I've been, working on making my NFT project since I'd say around September, October, and I've been just, trying different projects, seeing which art works the best, testing my craft, testing artists' craft and seeing which, project will look the best. And then, once the art for this one was made, I thought of the idea of Mythology Apes Club because, I've seen tons of ape projects, but I haven't really seen a game like PvP style. And when I think of an ape, I think of apes battling. I don't think of, an ape, being kids or, something like that. So I thought, okay, we can incorporate the whole battle thing. And then Greek times is kind of the battle style I liked. So I kind of put all that together, had the artist work on it, and it just came out looking really good, in my opinion. So from there, we started, promoting around December 7th, December 10th slowly, and then, kicking it up every day since. But working on the project for months, I've been working on getting an NFT project to the way I like it for sure.
Is the game going to be fought through a third person or a first person view?
Most likely third person. We could always, add things like third person and first person. So, it again depends on what the community wants, but most likely third person. But we can also incorporate a first person. Whatever the community wants, we can go with that for sure.
I think the first person's kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in fighting games. Like in first person shooter, it's one thing, but to actually have like melee combat first person is just kind of it always seems weird to me. I mean, some games tried to pull it off that I've seen, and I just was never a fan of it. That's myself personally. I'm not saying that it won't work, but
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
it is kind of a better way to do it, in my opinion. So what's been the biggest hurdle that you guys had to jump over since you started this?
The biggest hurdle, honestly, like I said, was just waiting for the game trailer to be done. One of the main mistakes I made is since, I've been working on this NFT project since, September, October, I was kind of excited to just start, like I started the project before the whole art collection was done, just, I had 10, 15 done and I already started, starting the project up. So, those first, 1, 2 weeks were slow, waiting for the art to be done, waiting for the website to be done, and then, now waiting for the game trailer to be done. So kind of the biggest hurdle was just, starting the game quite early. That's kind of just the main, or I meant the project early. That's kind of the main mistake I made. But at the end, it's still going to all work out because once everything's done, we still have plenty of time to, promote and do what we need to do. So yeah, that's kind of been the biggest hurdle, just waiting for everything to be done as quick as it can to be at a high level.
Who's doing the art?
So the art is, the artist isn't really known. It's kind of one of my brother's friends. Just had him do it. He did his art in the past, so he isn't really like a super known artist. Kind of, he does art. He's done art for multiple NFT projects. I'd have to double check which ones he's done, but yeah, our artist, isn't really like a person who gets involved with the NFT. He just does the art and moves on to the next project regarding the art.
Are you going to be incorporating any additional god elements in version 2 when you start out, other than Zeus? Are you going to have Hades or anybody like that?
Yeah, that's definitely a potential thing. Having like Hercules, Hades, all these different gods for sure is definitely part of the plan. The whole theme, like it's always been, has been Greek thing, mythology, gods, Roman times. So yeah, that's definitely part of the plan. Different sort of gods being incorporated with the game, and just in general, maybe for the next, whole, batch of art for the 3D version for sure is definitely part of the plan.
Have you talked to any other projects that you plan on collaborating with or co-market with?
Yeah, I've definitely talked to a couple projects. If you look in the Discord, we have like a collab giveaway section. So we do collabs with, multiple projects every day. Giving away whitelist spots for their project, and they do something for us as well, like a whitelist spot or sometimes an NFT. So that definitely, has the community involved and something to look forward to every day. Hey, I can just, click on a button. Hopefully I win a giveaway, and guess what? I'm whitelisted or I get a free NFT or some Ethereum. So yeah, we definitely, work with a bunch of projects. We've worked with some cool projects like Soul Chicks, they have their own game, so that was pretty cool working with them. Yeah.
If anybody has any questions, feel free to raise your hand and come up. If you want to give a shout out, feel free to ask. Don't be shy. Justin's very well versed here, so I think he can handle anything you throw at him. Do you eventually plan on incorporating your apes into some sort of metaverse?
Could you say that again? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Do you eventually plan on incorporating your apes into the metaverse?
Oh yeah, that's definitely the plan. We definitely want a metaverse involved, with Sandbox. That's definitely a part of the plan too. Incorporating it in, different elements. I have people asking me, are you gonna have a gambling element? That all depends on what the community wants. We have a lot going on, so it'll take time, but whatever the community wants, we'll work our best on getting it done. But is it part of the plan? 100%, yeah.
Have you decided to maybe get a booth at any upcoming conventions for NFTs, or doing some sort of meetup or anything like that?
I haven't looked into the convention thing regarding NFTs too much. I didn't even really know there were conventions for NFTs till you told me right now. But are we gonna have parties and meetups and stuff for holders? Yeah, that's definitely part of the plan. Meetups, parties, all sorts of stuff for holders. Certain things paid for, obviously, and yeah, that's definitely part of the plan to have meetups and all that sort of stuff. And it's part of our roadmap for sure.
Yeah, there's going to be I think April 9th, April 10th. There's going to be an NFT convention in San Diego. I'm not sure exactly where you're located. I know you're on the West Coast, but I don't know how far that is from you.
Yeah, I'm actually not too far from San Diego, about an hour or two, so I definitely could go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure the actual address, but you could just look up San Diego NFT convention. It pops right up on Google. So maybe that would be something that you could get involved in. There's a lot of big names that are going down there. The guys from the Blue Chimps, if I remember it, right, Aiden? Is it Blue Chimps that are hosting it?
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Well, there's Meta Funnels doing the San Diego NFT, but then there's the Blue Chimps after party at the mansion. But it's both, and then so I'm we're kind of responsible for it too with AstroZero, but we'll talk about that later.
So, what's your main marketing strategy that you have at the current time in order to get awareness to your project?
For sure. So, marketing's kind of been one of the things I've, explored a lot. Seeing my brother sell out his projects and do sorts of things like that. The main marketing plan is, of course, first things first, fully focusing on selling out the pre-sale. So, our way of getting there is, having these influencers promote it that are in the gaming scene specifically. And like I said, the whole percentage deal allows them to, in the end, we might have to give more funds to them, but at the end, they're still gonna, want to promote it more because there's more incentive for them to promote it. And then our partnership with the esport team, and then, any things like rarity tools obviously always help. But those are the main ways we're going to promote it, different NFT promoters, little things like that, any little influencers maybe that aren't even in the gaming scene. And then for the main sale, we're going to have Jack Harlow promote it. Maybe, if things, sometimes things get canceled, different things happen. Then, if we have to get someone different at his caliber, sure, no problem. But we're eyeing Jack Harlow. We've talked to him, we know the deal that has to be made. So we definitely plan on getting a Jack Harlow to promote it for the main sale. So once the pre-sale sold out, you obviously get to promote that, the pre-sale sold out. Also, another thing we're going to do is be on a bunch of NFT pages on Instagram, so like NFT Mentor, NFT Money, all these type of pages, for the main sale, maybe for the pre-sale too. So the main thing we're just focusing on is selling out the pre-sale, and then going from there to assure a sellout for the main sale is having celebrities like Jack Harlow promote it and all these big IG pages, etc. So that's kind of our plan. We have a marketing plan for the pre-sale and then a marketing plan for the main sale to assure an easy sellout for both, hopefully.
What made you decide to do an ape-based project? Is it just because of the notoriety behind a lot of the projects that do have that specific type of character?
Well, I've always liked ape projects. Most people have, Bored Apes, the biggest, one of the biggest NFTs, etc. That's kind of part of it. But then kind of what made me go with the ape project and kind of changed it was, or kind of made me 100% go with the ape project is, like I was saying earlier, I haven't, apes are meant to battle. When you think of an ape, you think of them, smacking their chest ready to fight. So I was like, okay, I haven't really seen an ape project kind of advertising that type of memo. Like Bored Apes, they're just Bored Apes. You see the Kid Ape Club, they're just like Kid Apes. So we've seen tons of ape projects, space apes, all sorts of apes. But I was yet to see like a ape project meant to battle. So I was like, okay, I like apes. It's cool. You get notoriety with it, and it's something I enjoy in the NFT space. And now I can add battling into it, and I'm in the gaming community, gaming scene. That's kind of my expertise. I could combine it. What type of theme should I go for the battle? Mythology sounds cool. The art ended up looking good. Put all of that together, and then that's why I went with the apes.
I think the art's great. I think it's the best looking ape project as far as art goes that I've seen. So,
oh wow, appreciate it.
I think whoever is doing your art is doing a fantastic job. I really do dig it. Like, it's very detail oriented. So kudos to your artist. I think they did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
I just have a few more questions. What do you have plans to do airdrops to any of your holders down the road?
So that's literally one of our main plans for sure. I believe if I look at our roadmap, future airdrops is definitely part. If you look at the 75%, including 20 random Mythology Apes being airdropped to holders, but it even goes further down than that. Tons of airdrops are definitely a part of the plan, and what we want in the future for sure.
Okay. You're going to be minting on Ethereum, correct?
Yep, on the Ethereum blockchain. Yep.
Now, is that a concern as far as the airdrops go, or are you going to be doing poly airdrops?
Yeah, so that is a little concern, but we're still gonna stick with Ethereum. That's the plan. Poly's great, but we're gonna be sticking with Ethereum for sure.
Yeah, I know some like ETH-based projects that they do their airdrops on Poly, so I was just curious if you were considering going that route or how you were going to go about it.
Yeah.
Does your artist also make the 3D rendered portion, or is it a separate person that's doing the 3D renderings for the game?
So for the game itself, it's gonna be a separate person, handling all of that. But when we have the 3D versions, for the second, part of the second roadmap to, give to all the holders, it'll be the same artist doing it. So he's an expert in 2D and 3D art. especially 2D, but he also is, pretty good at making 3D. But yeah, in terms of the game, the art and, the characters that will be in the game itself will be made from the our devs and gaming team.
If you do decide to incorporate this into the metaverse, are you thinking of maybe putting a VR element into it where people could fight their ape versus another ape while wearing like a headset?
That'd definitely be cool. We haven't really thought of doing something like that specifically. It's definitely possible. That's quite down the line to, have the whole VR and everything. Definitely interesting, with VR and you can battle, in VR. That definitely sounds cool. Yeah, it's definitely possible. It sounds, something cool and intriguing, but have we, thought of 100% doing that or something like that yet? No, but, definitely could happen and most likely will.
All right. I think the last question I have for you before we wrap up, are you going to also be writing a storyline to coincide with the game itself? And if so, are you going to be writing it, or are you going to have maybe a creative team that's going to be writing the actual like the lore behind the entire game and the fighting and the battles?
Sure. So, we actually, if you go to our website, we have like a little story of how everything came to be. So I kind of give the whole concept, the whole idea, how I wanted the story to be like, kind of like a mini thing to, give to the creative team. And then they wrote the story. So it's like a little story, for the game and how everything came to be. So I'll give like a little summary of how the story is. The ape, basically the apes were just roaming around and then, they happen to get into this Greek world. And they have to basically battle their way to try to get out. And then, they defeat all sorts of different things like I'll tell you one specifically. They beat people like where is it? 1 second, sorry. So yeah, so that some of the people they beat are like certain gods, and the whole thing is for them at the end to basically fight the top gods in the Greek world. So they beat all sorts of things like different aliens and certain things to get to where they were, and then they got trapped in the Greek world. Basically, it's kind of how everything happened, and then by the end they were basically forced to have a big war against the gods in Olympus, and that's kind of that type of story. So they basically got trapped in the Greek world, tried to get out, and now they're forced to battle against gods.
Well, it's pretty cool. If anybody has a question, feel free to come up. You're going to have your pre-sale is going to be on January 11th at 5 o'clock Pacific time. 13th is going to be your main sale, correct?
Yeah, 13th will be the main sale, so we'll give a 1 day gap, and then we'll go right to the main sale.
All right, so I guess we'll get ready to wrap things up. Check out the website. It's mythologyapesclub.com. The meeting's going to start in about 2 weeks' time. Looking forward to playing the game, actually. I'm going to have to go and qualify for your whitelist so I could come in there and battle some people. Are you planning on fighting people yourself in the game? Or are you going to make guest appearances and PvP versus people?
Yeah, I definitely plan on playing the game. Obviously, I won't, be competing for the prize pools or anything in the esport, but definitely, playing for fun, definitely, yeah. I definitely like to do that for sure.
Sorry, I thought I got rugged there for a second. All right, so I appreciate you coming out and talking to our community, Justin. It was really awesome of you to take the time out of your day. The website again, mythologyapesclub.com. It's going to be pre-selling on the 11th. Main sale is going to be on the 13th. Game looks really awesome. I love how everything's laid out as far as how the apes themselves look. So I wish you the best of luck. If you want to stop by before you do your launch and jump into our space and plug it, feel free to stop by and just talk to our community and let us know what's going on, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Thank you for coming out, and don't be a stranger.